the Charles Manson murders.
Yeah.
We were obsessed.
I think that's an okay thing.
I now know more about the Manson murders than just about anything else in life.
Wait a second, though. I think that's an okay thing. I think that's a healthy exercise to get...
Well, because I was also fascinated with the way
fascinated by it,
and the way the cops, found the clues, and the way they figured out that they were the ones that did it. And the whole trial, and Vincent Bugliosi, who was the guy prosecuting him. I thought the whole thing. F. Lee Bailey. I thought the whole thing was fascinating.
I don't like that. You just one up me, because I knew who Richard Ramirez was, and you were super surprised. So you have to start fucking throwing in prosecutors, or anybody who ever worked on the case.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Back to the list of accused here. Chris Savino, an animator. Steven Seagal, Kevin Spacey.
But there's been Steven Seagal stories for years.
So that's a retread.
Yep.
And this Chris Savino just happened to be nominated.
Yeah, there you go.
You get it. Jeffrey Tambor, James Toback, Bob Weinstein, Harvey's brother, Harvey, Ed Westwick. You get the idea. It's a long
Richard
list.
Dreyfuss was on the list this morning. Oh, and George Takei from Star Trek.
Yeah.
He was on the list this morning.
Charlie Sheen one is weird. Did you hear the Charlie Sheen one?
Yeah, you know what? Charlie Sheen is a whole nother category.
He's a whole nother category. And I don't even feel like if you want to know the Charlie Sheen story, just go look it up. It's so complicated.
Yeah,
and it doesn't seem like we all have gut reactions. That's how we work. Yeah. That one doesn't seem like it's even close to me.
Yeah, my gut reaction at this point is, another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, great.
But Louie CK, I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. The only thing I don't like about this whole thing is how he's handled it so far. He's kind of gone into hiding.
He released that statement. And he used his word "his dick" twice. He said "dick" twice
in the statement.
In the statement.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He said, "Yes, I've been accused of showing people my dick." That was in the statement, the official statement.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, so I like the way he handled it.
Yeah. He admitted that he did it. And he's apologetic for it. But of course, it's not enough because now people are saying, well, it's not a real apology. And this is what he should have said. That's the way the world goes now, is when someone apologizes or admits guilt, then everybody jumps on the bandwagon and said, no. This is how he should have apologized.
Well, no, I don't care for that one bit. It has to, the only times historically getting out of trouble for these notable people has worked is early admission,
right?
Sincere apology,
right? And
then provide more sincere apologies till they stop asking,
right? And then maybe make a large donation, to some cause.
Well, you remember Hugh Grant back in the day? He picked up that hooker.
Picked up a hooker. Yeah,
he was on Leno 3 days later,
right?
And he was very self-deprecating,
right? And laughed about it,
and it just went away.
Yeah.
It just went. You try to bury this shit.
Mel Gibson, who was known for his drunken racist rants, he's back in Hollywood's graces now. He disappeared for a while. People said his career is over, and now he's back in the good graces of Hollywood.
It's a matter of time before he gets on this list. I feel like I feel like it's just coming. He's got to be looking over both shoulders. Like,
yes and no.
Can you imagine? I just got back in. And you're going to find out about that.
He's very Catholic.
He's very religious.
So maybe that might, although religious people have been known to stray a little bit.
Have you heard the phone calls?
Oh yeah, I've heard him.
What is it, ex-wife or ex-girlfriend?
I've heard him.
Terrible.
So you think it's a matter of time?
I do.
Right.
DOS. Disk Operating System.
DOS. Here's number 2.
So this pissed me off this morning. Less of a story and more of an observation. I am watching ESPN this morning, which I almost never do anymore.
Right.
I think we've talked about this. I hate ESPN now. But I just wanted something on the background that I could ignore, and something caught my attention that it kind of pissed me off. There's this good basketball player. I don't follow the NBA anymore. I used to. And he's a Greek player. His name, I might pronounce it wrong. I think is Giannis. I'm definitely going to pronounce this wrong. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Did you just have a stroke?
I guess he plays for the Bucks. Again, I don't know anything about the NBA now.
Let's call him Giannis.
Giannis, whatever.
Antetokounmpo.
I have a hard time with Greek names.
Yeah.
Stephanopoulos is the only one I can do.
Yeah. But it took me a while.
All right. So anyway, my point with this guy is they call him the Greek.
Okay.
And this morning...
you know why? Because no one can pronounce his last name.
Yeah. Well, this morning... And they kept saying... They kept showing this graphic. keep feeding the Greek. Feed the Greek. And in basketball, to feed is to pass.
Right, to pass the ball.
To keep giving the ball to the player who has the most impact. And it struck me as, hey, man, why is that okay?
To call him the Greek?
Yeah, the Greek. And to just... And that's like, it's the graphic, it's the vocabulary everybody's using in the segment. Feed the Greek, feed the Greek. Now, why are certain groups of people okay to reference by their name?
Right.
In a context of a sports show, entertainment show, political show, whatever it may be, right? And it's just not okay with others.
Yeah, would they be like, feed the Jew? Feed the Jew.
Exactly.
Feed the Jew.
Point. That's exactly
I don't think they would.
my point.
I don't think they would.
I think someone would catch that before going to air, and and if they actually didn't and it was on the air, people would flip out. What I'm saying is, if these millennials who are now taking over our world and deciding that everything's inappropriate,
right?
If you're gonna just do that, you gotta do it across the board.
Yeah.
It's not okay to feed the Greek.
No.
If you can't go on and say, feed the Mexican.
Exactly.
Feed the Jew.
Right. I agree.
I've had enough. It's just such a...
Wow. This is why you can't watch SportsCenter.
It's a bucket of... No, I can't watch it because it's a terrible product.
Right.
It's just a bucket of hypocrisy.
Yep, I agree.
I can't take it anymore.
But also, if we're going with that now, that we have to go across the board, I'm out of a job. I can't be a comic anymore because my act is based very much on the way, what people, look, the way they do it.
Snap judgments.
Yeah, my whole act is snap judgments. But it's funny. Yeah, it's funny snap judgments.
It's funny because snap judgments are funny.
And they're true most of the time.
People who have a thick skin can handle it, can enjoy, can laugh at themselves, are the best.
For instance, just last Wednesday I was doing a gig. All right, there was an Asian woman in the audience. I said, "What's your name?" She said, "Cookie." I said, "Is your first name Fortune?" Because she was an Asian woman.
Sure, yeah.
Fortune Cookie. Half the audience laughed. Half the audience were lighting torches.
Yeah.
Ready to burn down my castle.
Yeah. I just think it's bullshit that there's groups of people that it's still okay. Like, I don't have a problem in general with referencing somebody. Like, if they were to say, if there was a famous Spanish player or Mexican player and they said, feed the Mexican.
Right.
In that ESPN graphic, I personally don't have a problem with it. I don't care. But if you are going to tell me that column A is okay and column B is not okay, and they are essentially the same thing, you're full of shit.
I agree. And by the way, I might add that when I said Fortune Cookie, she thought it was hilarious.
I bet she did.
She laughed the most.
You know who was offended? Someone who was not Asian was offended on her behalf.
And has never had a fortune cookie.
I don't like it.
1, 2, 3.
Here's number 3.
We've been avoiding the subject because I think we're scared to... because we're both Yankee fans, rabid Yankee fans.
Right.
And we don't want to give off the vibe that this is a sports talk show.
Because we're not. We're nowhere near. Feeding the Greek was the closest that we've been to sports talk.
But this Yankee manager thing is out of control.
I'm all for it.
I hate you.
I'm all for it. I'm going to take, just because if we both agree, then it sounds like we're just jerking each other off. It sounds like we've been brought back to
fair enough.
A hotel room to watch each other masturbate. So at this point, I'm just going to take the opposite end of it and say that I think change is good. I think that Girardi's been with us for 10 years. I think that he only brought us one World Series, and I think it's time for a change. Bang.
Okay, before we spend too much time on why Joe Girardi's firing was a mistake, and it was... I know you disagree.
I disagree.
I just want to quickly do something here, and this will, Joe Girardi was the manager for, 9 years, we said?
Well, 10. For 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Right.
Joe Girardi was the manager for 11 years. Okay. How many years is that?
10 years. He was the manager for 10 years.
No, Torre and Girardi combined.
Oh, you said Torre. Okay.
Yeah, what did we talk? 20, let's guess, 21, 22 years. Something around there.
Yeah.
Okay. That.
I'm a comic, not a mathematician.
Before that, Buck Showalter. Okay. For 3 seasons.
Right.
So what are we at? Quarter century between 3 guys.
25 years.
3 guys.
Right.
Quarter century. Before that, are you ready for this? Stump Merrill, 1 year.
Right.
Bucky Dent, 1 year.
Yeah.
Dallas Green, 1 year.
Yeah.
Lou Piniella, 1 year. Billy Martin, 1 year.
Yeah.
Lou Piniella, 1 year. Billy Martin, 1 year. Yogi Berra, 1 year. Billy Martin, 1 year.
By the way, Yogi Berra, not even a year. It was like half a season, if that long.
Yeah. Clyde King, 1 year. Gene Michael, 1 year. Bob Lemon, 1 year. Gene Michael, 1 year.
The point
Dick
you're
Howser.
trying to make is?
I am trying to make the point that you are about to see us go back to that.
I
Because
disagree.
the expectation level with this team's talent, anything short of a World Series right now with this new manager, whoever they may be, is a failure, and you will have to move on. You've now made a non-hot seat situation a complete hot seat.
By the way, all those guys that you mentioned that were only managers for 1 year, they didn't have the talent that Buck Showalter had, that then Joe Torre inherited, that Joe Girardi then inherited.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with the manager. It has to do with the talent. So if they bring in a guy that knows how to let his horses just run and play ball and do what they're capable of, I think we'll see success.
Agree to disagree.
Which is the phrase. I hate that phrase
I know
more
you do.
than any
That's
other.
why I keep saying
more
it,
than
because
any
you
phrase.
and I...
Because when you say I agree to disagree, it means you're saying
You're wrong.
I'm right and you're wrong. That's what you're fucking saying.
Real quickly,
So I am
we can
right.
get out of this, because it's not a sports talk show. They did mention David
Hey,
Cole.
listeners, call and tell us what you think.
Yes!
Hi, Lou. First time, long time.
Before we end this, I must say the only name that's been floated so far that I'm okay with, because they are going... the way they look like they're going, Brian Cashman wants somebody with no experience. For the life of me, I can't fucking figure out.
But I also think he wants a guy with a Yankee pedigree as well.
Right, but the only name that's been floated so far that I'm okay with, David Cohn.
What about John Flaherty?
John Flaherty. Okay.
That'd be good with that, too.
Yeah.
There you go.
I forgot about that one.
All right. What about, what's his name? The guy, the bench coach, Robbie, whatever his name is. Robbie Thompson is his name?
Oh, yeah. I have the list of potential candidates.
I think he'd be good.
How do you know that he'd be good?
You know, well,
you've seen him eat sesame seeds. That's it.
What did Joe Girardi do before he
managed the Marlins?
So, okay, but what did he do before he came over to the Yankees?
Before he came to the Yankees?
Yeah.
He played for the Cubs.
Yeah, being a player doesn't make you a manager.
Okay. All right. You want to play it that way?
Yeah.
I have no answer for that.
I agree to disagree.
But all right.
All right.
We should thank our wonderful sponsors.
Oh my God!
We have not done that yet.
No, we haven't, because we've been on fire since the show started. Our title sponsor, Treehouse Comedy Productions. They have clubs in Westport, Windsor Locks, Brantford, and the Fairfield Theater Company. They've been in business for 35 years. They are the number one source of comedy here in Connecticut. There are many clubs. A lot of great shows coming up. Friday, November 17th. It's a show called It's Your Line Now. Isaacs and Baker are two comics. It's improv. And it's at the Fairfield Theater Company.
Similar to like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Exactly.
But you can afford to see it.
And even the title, has the word line in it.
Yeah.
So, and then Saturday the 18th, my old boss, Caroline Ray. I worked on the Caroline Ray show.
Yes, you mentioned this,
she's going to be at Bobby V's in Windsor Lock. Also on Saturday the 18th in Westport, there's a Treehouse Comedy Showcase. A bunch of comics for only $17.50.
Are you saying Connecticut, by the way?
Yeah, I said Connecticut 3 times. How many times? Westport. Where else would it be?
My bad.
All right, just listen. All right. And then
I'm not listening. I'm just thinking of the next thing I want to say.
Also Saturday the 18th in Brantford at the Thimble Island Brewing Company, R.C. Smith.
Yes,
me.
That's you.
I'm back in Connecticut doing a gig on Saturday, November 18th. Anyway, any of the shows that you want to see, go to treehousecomedy.com or call the box office at 203-268-5857.
Or treehousecomedy.com, as you mentioned already.
Yeah.
Guitar Hanger. If you love instruments, you love music, that's the place to go. Located close to where we record our podcast. They are in Brookfield, Connecticut, but of course you can access all of their amazing goods online at guitarhanger.com if you need a custom-made guitar, a brand-name guitar, if you need strings, amps, pedals, if you want drums, if you want a bass guitar.
They are more than just guitars.
Yeah, they could do it all. I rented my kid a cello there for
How's that going, by the way? How's the cello going?
It's weird.
Is he playing? Is he practicing? Because every time I've been here, I haven't seen him touch it. I got to be honest with you.
I haven't really allowed for much practice time.
Really? What if Beethoven's father had said no?
Beef oven, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But I also
Although,
know...
to be fair, Beethoven's father also beat him about the head and shoulders, which is why
I don't do that.
Which is why he went deaf.
I don't do that.
So
my kid's more of a sampler. You know, he likes to sample all of life.
Okay.
And doesn't really...
Meaning, all right, that's what they say when you're not focused.
Yeah. It's one of those. So he's going to go, and then go, I played the cello.